Huckleberry Bastion again.
That's right. Welcome back to Huckleberry Bastion. And today, we're going to take a look at another machete, right?
Right.
And we're going to do all the tests that we did with the last machete from Cold Steel with this machete from Marbles.
Don't hit my hat.
There's about a 2-inch piece here on the blade that's not sharpened. I guess you could grind that down if you wanted to come back further, but you can choke up on it a bit. Trying to do fine work. Again, this is not the greatest edge for this type of work. And it's of course going to take some practice to get good with the machete, using it for tasks that don't involve just chopping. So now we're going to do the batoning test. And as we've already noted, the spine of the blade here is sharpened. So we won't be able to use the baton on the front of the blade. Let's give it a try. It took a little bit of work to reposition the machete, but now I have some of the non-sharpened part of the back in front of the log, so we'll continue batoning. So although you have the sharpened part, you do have about 7 or so inches of space to work with. So you can use it for batoning, I don't know, 4 or 5 inch diameter pieces of wood. It is fairly rough on your hands because of the just the wooden handle. You feel all the vibration from the baton. The spine of the machete is rough, and the corner's fairly sharp, so we can pull some good sparks off of it, I think. Let's give it a try. Now that we've seen it in the field, let's take a look at some of the stats. It's got an overall length of 20.5 inches. The blade area is about 14 inches, with about 12 inches of that sharpened, and on the spine there's a 5.5 inch area that is sharpened. The thickness is about 1/8 of an inch, and the width at its narrowest is 1.75 inches, and at its widest it's 3 inches. It's also made in El Salvador. It's a full tang carbon steel blade and has this orange painted finish on it. It weighs about 15 ounces or roughly a pound. My machete came with kind of a rough and dull primary edge, but I've read online that other people have had better luck and theirs came relatively sharp. With the sheath, I paid between $20 and $25 Canadian. Now let's take a closer look at the handle. The handle is made out of basically 2 pieces of wood slapped onto the tang. It's held in place by 2 brass pins, one there and one there, and there's a spot in the back for a lanyard. Now the pieces are quite thick and they're not completely lined up with the tang, so there's this ridge gap that runs all the way around. You could probably fill that in with some epoxy or sand it down so that it's flush with the tang, and that'll probably be a lot more comfortable. It's quite thick, so if you have small hands, again, you might want to do some sanding to get a better fit. My machete came with this black nylon sheath, and it holds the machete in place with these 2 Velcro straps. And you have to be careful when you're taking the machete out, as the spine is sharpened, although there's a place on the sheath itself to cover that sharpened bit. There are 2 utility pockets held together with Velcro, and the 3rd large pocket at the bottom holds the sharpening stone, which comes with the machete. You can see at this end there's 2 support pins to give the sheath a bit of extra strength, and down at the other end here we have a small belt loop, and there's another support pin at this end. There's our look at the Marbles camp knife or machete for $20. You're definitely going to get your money's worth. It's a machete you don't have to worry about too much if you're going to lose it or beat it up or neglect it. And with a little bit of work, just sanding down the handle and giving the edge a good sharpen, you get a pretty decent machete for the money. Thanks for watching Huckleberry Bastion. We'll catch you next time.